Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of AnglersChannel.com video. We're at Sportsman's Warehouse in Columbia, South Carolina to kick off the 2013 tournament bass season. With us is Brett Collins, director of the CBC, Carolina's Bass Challenge, as well as the Carolina Anglers Team Trail, which he's owned for, I guess, almost a dozen years now, it seems like. But, Brett, it is Friday, February 1st. A lot of tournaments are underway. AnglersChannel.com pro staffer and insider Vance McCullough is on the AnglersChannel.com South Florida tour right now as he's on the road for 2 straight weeks fishing the Bassmaster Southern Open down there on the Kissimmee chain this weekend. And then next week he'll be at the Big O following the FLW Tour on Okeechobee, which has had a phenomenal fall and winter with all the weights that have been caught down there. But, you know, Brett, there's also a lot of anticipation about team trails that we've been talking about throughout the winter. Rob Dye and I have about every other week. And the reason team trails are hot is the payouts are great, the participation's higher than it's ever been, and the Carolina's Bass Challenge is kind of the symbol of what that's all about. Last year was year one. We went to multiple weigh-ins where first place paid $10,000, $11,000, $12,000. You gave away 2 boats at the regionals. You gave away, you know, another boat, maybe 2 boats at the championship. I mean, it was just a phenomenal year one. Now we come up on year 2. You've added a division, a North Carolina division up there, and or expanded the North Carolina division, I should say. So let's talk about the CBC and just exactly what is going on in 2013 that's got everybody so excited.
Well, the biggest thing we've added this year is a $5,000 bonus. That's on top of the Skeeter real money. And that bonus goes to the highest place in Skeeter owner, Yamaha. You got to have a Yamaha on the back. And just be the registered owner and have proof of that. You can come in 15th, 16th, 20th place. If you're the highest finishing Skeeter, you're going to get another $5,000. And that's, you know, that's pretty strong. So I don't know if anything's ever been offered like that in the Carolinas. This is really an opportunity for the guys to fish for some big-time money. On top of that, $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 first place.
Well, and let's talk about that. Entry fees, what, $200 a team?
That's right, $200 a team. You're only putting up $100 a person. You got a chance to take home over $10,000. And last year, John's second averaged right at $5,000.
Yeah. Now the payouts last year, I'm sure many of you watched closely. The payouts were phenomenal. Plain and simple, they were phenomenal. Tournament in, tournament out. You guys were paying back some serious money. Let's talk about your first tournament. I believe South Carolina Division has got the first one coming up in a week.
Yeah, we'll be at Lake Murray at Deer Island State Park, and a lot of anticipation toward this tournament. Usually the fish are starting to move up on Murray, and even though we've had some cooler mornings and some real cold mornings, the fish are still going to be up there where the guys can catch them, crankbaits, jigs, that type of things out on the main lake. And last year at Murray in late April, we had 137 teams, I believe. And this year, the way it looks, we're going to have well over 100 prepaid by the time we get to Murray.
Yeah, no, it's going to – I expect 150, 175 out there. On top of the fact, Brett, that Lake Murray's fishing pretty well right now.
It is. There's some guys that's keeping a little hush-hush about it, but look, I know Lake Murray. I know the guys that's fishing there, and you know, from talking with them, you can read through the line, between the lines. These guys are catching fish right now.
Yeah, they are, and they are in more areas than just one. Hey, don't forget, if you're coming down to pre-fish Lake Murray, Sportsman's Warehouse is where you want to come, right off the Piney Grove Road exit, I-26. Easy to find, great location to the lake. I think we're, 3 miles away. You can be there in no time at the dam, so make sure you stop by here or go online 24/7 at www.sportsmanswarehouse.com. Brett, your North Carolina division starts a little bit later. What's the first tournament in that division, and what's the update there?
Well, it's the following week after the Murray tournament, February 16th. That's Lake Norman at Pinnacle Access. And same thing, we had over 140 boats there. Matter of fact, we averaged 137 last year. But we've added Falls Lake and Lake Jordan, and that was really because we had so many guys ask for it. And we're going to get all those guys involved. I think we already got over 20 boats paid for Lake Jordan, and that tournament's March 23rd.
Wow. Well, we remember back from the NBC days that the strongest division at NBC was the Capital Division, which was Falls Lake and Jordan, and that area up there. And they had just tremendous turnouts up there for those tournaments. And this tournament has triple the payback that trail used to have, maybe quadruple. So I expect to see just phenomenal turnouts and really payouts up there. That'll be exciting. On top of some good weights, because falls, as you well know, as you move later into the spring and even summertime, falls can kick out 28, 29-pound sacks. Let's talk about Carolina Anglers Team Trail, the trail that you've had for a long, long time. What's going on there? How many divisions you got, and how do people get caught up on fishing that?
Well, we've added a division on Lake Waccamaw and Lake Sutton. We're going to call it the Southeast North Carolina Division. We're actually adding a division on Lake Gaston, where the schedule should be up in the next couple of weeks. The Cat Classic is going to be on Kerr Lake or Carr Lake. That's May 18th and May 19th. First place is a minimum of 10,000, but it usually increases with more participation. And like at Santee last year, I think first was 12. But other than that, everything's going good. We also opened up a trail in SC Upstate. That's Kiowee and Hartwell. In the fall, we'll just hang around Hartwell. We did real good on the fall trail up there. Picking up new members every day. We're getting a lot of new people into fishing. It's just starting. I believe that's what Cat offers a lot of people. Bring your children. We got a lot of people fishing with their children now, and I'm just proud of the way it's grown, and all the help I've had is really helped Cat take off.
Yeah. No, it's made a phenomenal growth curve the last 5 years, and it's not by accident. You've worked mighty hard to do that, but this guy, folks, got a full-time job at UPS, and then he runs the CBC and Cat all at the same time. So you're looking at a very, very busy man, especially in the spring as all the tournaments crank up. But hey, it's great to see you, Brett. And you can kind of feel in the air. Last year was a good fishing season for most anglers. This year, there's some lakes that people really think are going to have their best year in 10, 15 years. Clarks Hill is shaping up to have a good spring. We know Santee's going to be on fire. They're catching them at Murray right now. They're catching them on Norman. Most of the lakes in this general southeastern Carolina region that we spend a lot of time talking about are fishing extremely well.
Yeah, the guy just asked me, was there grass back in Santee? There's a lot of vegetation in Santee now. Matter of fact, last week we had a guy fishing one of the Cat tournaments, weighed in a bass almost 11 pounds, and you could see it.
Joe Avon.
Joe Avon. He'd been fishing it for years, so he ought to know where he lived. Yeah. But last year during the spring, we actually had a tournament that 30th place was 20 pounds. The top 6 had over 30. And I think the top 15 teams weighed in a big fish over 7.5. So Santee's back. Lake Murray is still doing good, even though the grass is gone. Lake Wateree's about to kick in with all their action as it goes when the fish move up shallow there. Lake Wiley, we've got plenty of water right now, except for the upstate's lacking a little bit, but everywhere else we got plenty of water.
That's great. Well, buddy, it's good seeing you, and don't forget, if you want any information on the schedules for either of these tournament trails, all you got to do is go to the tournaments page of anglerschannel.com, or you can go directly to their websites, which I believe are www.carolinasbasschallenge.com, and then carolinaanglersteamtrail.com is the Cat Trail. But hey, we're going to follow it closely this weekend, or a week from tomorrow. It kicks off on Murray. Look forward to it. And Brett, thanks for joining us here at Sportsman's Warehouse.
No problem. Glad to be here, John. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next week. And folks, have a great weekend. Be safe on the water.